Hello again. We continue on the hub country map and just from exactly where we left off in the previous episode. So we are doing the usual into it's a 2K by 2K map. We have 1500 industries. All the towns are done and working on cement related stuff, which is probably a lot more done than 75%, but it's a little difficult to calculate and I'm just being lame. So making good progress on that. And so if I find the right window, that would be useful. There you go. So at the end of the last episode, I hooked up this long network into here, and we are going to get trains and depots. Just go. Yeah, no. And we're going to pick up all the clay from here. And it's going to be a 5 long train in. No, I'm going to have a bunch of these. See how that goes. Might or might not work. Because it's going to be busy. And then this one needs aggregates in the same overall vein. So the plane you saw, take two. The plane you saw taking off. Yeah, I'll need to check that. Was to get stuff gung-hoed. And so it's going to get a lot busier around here. Timetable, yes, go. I am curious about why you're being such a dub. You go from here, which is holy rubbish. Supply yards for it, but it's underused. You be useful. It's going to get really itchy because I don't think it can get here. Or maybe it can. The road network's surprisingly good now. Yeah, because it comes from here. So it just travels down. I mean, look, it's not complaining. Fine. So the next task is no one seems to be complaining, which means no one's lost. Weird. I think we've established that we don't need to deal with this. We do need to deal with the clay from here. And that would be done by hooking this into that. It's not really going to happen. So the original idea was to use this line, which I clearly did not. These convoys really bug me, but that's a problem. Trams cannot take over each other, and so the whole idea of timetabling them is moot. more of a discussion point, but yeah, in real life, these are trains. I mean, they are actually by the looks of them. I need to figure out how precisely the signaling goes because a lot of these are all over the place. And we need to put down depots. Like the point I was trying to make is that the way I use gems is not how real life stuff's done. Okay, this flows into that, uh, which will not be enough. Okay, so you can happily come up here. You need to go this way. Going to have 2 of these running. And it may turn out one's enough. So these are all coming in empty because these are the initial batches, and then eventually they'll start generating stuff. Hold on. And there are no liquid terminals anywhere near, so I mean, anywhere near is there. You using, yeah. I mean, look, there's just not going to be petroleum fuel. Tough. Yeah, one sec. So I need to apply this on. We have some family visiting, and one of them had the actually totally bright idea. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, it's not a complaint. That petroleum fuel goods, like they're into stamp collections, and a long story short, they just like to buy something particular, but it's a Saturday, and they're leaving soon. And it's now a bit of a shit, can we find a post office that's A, open, and B, sells the particular thing? We'll see about that. Okay, this setup is pikey. Is that a PC word nowadays? Oh, pixie. Ah, Freudian slip there. Which means I'll need to leave a little earlier and go hunting for post offices that are still open, which might or might not be that simple. Which means I need to charge my shit. Pronto. Like yesterday, we went to the main. London doesn't really have a main post office, not for public purposes. So we'll come in from here. Like Mount Pleasant Post Office is the headquarters of the Royal Mail, but from a customer perspective, it's just the post office. And we went there, they didn't have it. The website has it. Might be doing anything yet? Yes, you just building materials. I don't think this will be generating a lot. That's naughty, naughty. I'll need to review these trains, like all of them, at some point soonish. I'm going to run one, see how things go. The new one, petroleum fuels and goods. I mean, we do have spare goods somewhere, including this, but can I? Works. And then that's not being used. That's not being used. Um. Well, I mean, how you doing? So engineering supplies is in abundance here. Mm, I do have the high-speed trains on this game. It's a pretty large station already. That's edging down. We don't care about this. I am thinking just to make use of it, either go up there or do both. And this is probably some form of goodsy stuff. I don't know. This whole station's a mess. But there's no real restriction on station sizes. Hold on. If I do this, yay, good freaking work. So it's a 2 by, no, it's a 6 by 2. And then this was good of sorts, which was a 4 by 5, probably. I think all of them were actually good. So what I want is just this. See, the thing is, going back to the previous me being on about London is that I don't know how it works in other AAA cities, and there are not that many of them. But in many respects, London's not. Like, you want something special, you can find it, yes, as long as it's open, which is to say it's working hours, weekdays, no strike. If this is going to be a high-speed train, then I need this to be bigger. That there's no strike, no signal failure, no bank holiday, no outside working hours. That is not going to work. Okay, I need to clean this up. As soon as you're trying to find anything a little obscure at the wrong time, nope. So I am very far away from that supply yard. I don't know if this keeps going up. I'm just going to be crazy and pull it all the way out. Now I can't find it. I mean, we're not doing anything with that goods, so might as well bring it someplace. And we're going to revamp all of this. That's a heliport, fine. I was thinking why it was there. Hmm, I don't need that. And I know what I remember building this, and they really I think this town, they really got to hate me. Um, yeah, I do need to come up here. Mind you, I should probably just cross. want to keep one line off or one tile off. So let's put the dumpy here. $300K and $11K, so that's definitely long. Yep. Say 16, that's more reasonable. Okay, and we do have some goods here. What we don't appear to have is a depot. I'll run through and see how things go. So this generates very little at the moment, which probably has to do with the fact that this generates. We could do with an extra building material train. Funny that I'm on the one hand I'm trying to like trigger the idea of I should start doing farming supplies. Rubber, food, oil. So I'm trying to trigger engineering supplies so I have them on my available things list, but I'm half done with things that need engineering supplies. So soon it's going to be a case of triggering farm supplies, which is something I'll have to start doing relatively shortly. And I'll have to go through all the building the what they have supply yards. Why are you all stuck here? Yeah, see, that's why I'm not a huge fan of having everyone in the same track. Sorry, I keep bumping into the microphone. So, what are you doing really? Yeah, it goes through the whole flicking thing because why not? So anyway, now we're doing a bit of engineering supplies, and that will also mean these guys will start being a lot more performant. Okay, I want to have some ideas as to what's going on. So, play, anything still not done? Quite a few of them are not done. And aggregates, generally the same. So, we're about 80% really. Right, where are we that's not done? The cement plant right next to me. Gee, if everything was this simple. Hmm. Yeah, but this is not being used. Mind you, I'm pretty sure this is not being hooked in either. Or that. Might actually end up being this. Yes, neither of these are being used. Well, we've got about 25 minutes. And all the clay stuff or aggregate stuff can pretty much come up here. I think what I'm going to do is just be super lazy and do something like that. Then not have to F and N with complex tunneling, which I'm momentarily lazy to do. So you should be on code because it's pretty decent. I said clay. Which means I probably won't be able to finish all the engineering stuff. Well, I mean, I still need to do phosphate and manganese and all that, so there's no real hope of finishing all of this today. You have petroleum fuels and chemicals. How used are you? Quite. This is a pretty bad spot. Okay, let's ignore that. Arguably, I should have probably just come through here. Or might not be enough, but hey ho. So we try to. Is that a huge tunnel? No, it's a huge nothing. Yeah, see, I could take engineering supplies from here and then I wouldn't need to be flying them all over the place. I'm still looking for. You can't hear this, but there are some cars outside making a lot of noise or bikes. I'm like, one thing I'm looking forward to when electric vehicles become more of a thing, that this constant noise of people with short private parts is hopefully going to go away. Mm, I could probably just hook into that. It would be a lot more sensible because it comes not really to that way. Like, go away. And I still bump into this. Good effing work. 4. Okay. So you do some amount of aggregate stuff. Cool. I need to crunch some numbers because I'm pretty sure there are outliers that are not being fully utilized. Clay. Oh. I mean, at 90, I'm not too phased about it. You know what? Fuck this. If I do that, so we do that, and then we say you make building materials. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. So then building materials from here. Why are you empty? From here to literally here. This will never make money, but do that. And then I have absolutely no idea. Bring it. Don't do that. Bring it here. Vehicles that will never make money. And this is also clay. So you can probably hook the same thing up in the same spot. I have a déjà vu about this. There you go. And you make farm supplies, which is even more hilarious. Just to utilize this place. more pointlessly. It's not going to generate enough to actually do anything. So why do I have two trains here losing me an absolute shitload of money? Right, there's another one here, which is equivalent to not being used. Probably should have built everything here, but meh. I'm not going to bother now. It's no longer relevant. Got 11 minutes. So we are totally lost track as usual. Where am I? Did that? Not done that. That's a big old city with 3 stops. Okay. It's lazy wheel. So clay's taken. Aggregate's taken. I should use this. Wow. I've totally missed out on this one. Doesn't matter. 7 and 5. That's an overkill, but I'm a bit lazy about it. Aggregates, pick one from here. Why am I not? Oh, because it's a supplier. I don't need a cement plant, which is up here or up here. Okay, what's going on with the others? Clay. I'm having difficulties differentiating some of these colors. It's postpaid. I don't care about that. Looking to steal train lines. Okay, go back again. Well, I mean, we have a whole bunch of terrible choices, but really the closest is this, which is what I was previously trying to build out, which is not going to work. It was Alden. Ah, yeah, 4. Just going to build that one, mostly for the laws, but realistically because I think it's just, well, doesn't matter, does it? Nope, nope, nope. That is not going to work. I really should be checking the map. I'm not convinced I'm in the right place. Yeah, I need to go straight up from here and basically undo all of that. Oh, for God's sake. Where is that thing? Okay, so as an idea, it's neat. I'm totally going the wrong direction. Yeah, lol, idiot. I'm pretty sure I'll be building this back in about, never mind, leave it there. And we have half a minute, which is not going to be enough, but I do want to start doing some of this line, so to say. Yeah, I know. Shut up. So if I do aggregates 5, I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure about that. Okay, go. So that will leave us in a reasonable spot for the aggregates, and I will attempt to finish clay aggregate cement the next time. See how it goes. So thanks for watching as always, and I shall see you next time. Bye.